De la BBC de Londres que relata los episodios más oscuros de la humanidad en los últimos 100 años. El film se basa en la gira del grupo de heavy metal System of a Down, que recorrió los lugares y a través de su música reclama memoria.
El 24 de abril se conmemoró el primer genocidio del siglo, el armenio, y la legislatura porteña decretó el Día de Acción por la Tolerancia y el Respeto entre los Pueblos.
Las imágenes son realmente muy duras, sí, pero son necesarias. ¿Sabe para qué? Para no olvidar.
One woman, she was losing her mind because they killed her 2 sons in front of her. She closed her eyes so she won't see it. They opened it so she can see it.
Por aquellos que a la fuerza soportaron con sus ojos y sus almas lo peor del hombre por el hombre, y por los que vendrán.
In 1909 I was born. They had cut off the women's breasts and so on. Such horrible things.
My grandfather referred to the murder of a nation, and certainly that's exactly what it was. As the American ambassador, he had many talks with Talat, and the Turkish leader just laughed at him. And Talat said, "It is no use for you to argue. We have already disposed of 3/4 of the Armenians. We have got to finish with them."
Screamers es un documental de reciente estreno en Argentina que apela a no olvidar el horror del genocidio de los últimos 100 años, desde el armenio en 1915 en adelante, una producción de la BBC de Londres con la participación de System of a Down, un grupo de heavy metal integrado por nietos de sobrevivientes armenios.
It's also time to break down all the walls of hypocrisy around the world, with all genocides known and unknown, accepted or not accepted. It's time to make the Turkish government pay for their fucking crime!
Genocide is a very difficult thing to show on film. I mean, who's going to go buy a movie ticket, right? It's very depressing. Ordinary people think there's nothing they can do about it. But this film is saying there is something we can do about it, because when you look at the history of genocide, the problem is not just the criminals, the people who perpetrate it. It's those countries who stand by and do nothing.
El documental busca en cambio generar conciencia contra la indiferencia y a favor del grito de alerta.
Leave out genocide for a minute. Genocide just compounds it, makes it even worse.
Screamers refers to those people who during a genocide want to stop it. They're saying, for God's sakes, we've got to do something and stop it. But the problem is not that we don't listen to the screamers. There have always been screamers. Even during the Holocaust, there were screamers. The problem is we don't listen to them.
If I, Adolf Hitler, can send the flower of the German nation to the hell of war, then surely I have the right to remove millions of an inferior race that breeds like vermin.
Why did genocides continue to occur in the 21st century? Because those committed in the 20th century got away with it. Hitler said, "Who remembers the Armenians?" It's more or less as if the Sudanese government is standing up and saying, "Who remembers the Armenians?"
I think genocide should be seen as a human rights problem, not a problem of individual people, Cambodians, Rwandans, the people in Darfur, because when you think of it like that, who's going to care about a people very far away who we really don't personally identify with? But when you see it as a human rights problem, you realize it's something that could affect all of us.
They took little children and smashed their heads together. When they found someone breathing, they pulled them out and finished them off.
¿Quién puede negar hoy la existencia de genocidios como el de Armenia, Ruanda, Camboya, Darfur, el de los kurdos en Irak? O Sarajevo, con imágenes en vivo que nos acercan a la muerte tan lejana y próxima a la vez.
When you see it as a human rights problem, you realize it's something that could affect all of us. And even here in Argentina, we are referring now, or I'm understanding you refer to the dirty wars. Some people refer to it as genocide. So it's an issue which affects every country.
States often tell themselves one of the advantages of genocide is that you wipe out the problem. Well, no, you don't. There are always survivors. And many of them, having been violated in these ways, will find ways to seek justice.
And never again must we be shy in the face of the evidence.
I say in a forthright voice, never again.
Self-righteous suicide. I cry when injustice
El Día de la Tolerancia y el Respeto entre los Pueblos existe en Buenos Aires desde el día 24 de abril. El de la memoria debe ser todos y cada uno de los días.